Crafters, it's Louise with you today, and I'd like to share a new scrapbook layout created for the November 2018 Kitaholic kits. So this page, what I'm trying to do is actually take what is quite a feminine collection from Coco Vanilla Studio, the Midnight, and I'm going to make quite a masculine layout. And what I'm going to do in order to achieve this is actually use some of the navies that come with the collection, but I'm also going to sort of steer clear of any floral elements. So what I want to do is show you that even though a collection might be quite heavy on sort of flowers and feminine things, you can actually use that to create a boys layout. Any of you that follow my scrapping will know that I'm all about boys layouts. So for this page, what I really wanted to do was to show you how you can take sort of, as I said, that feminine type layout and really create something that's more suited for a boys page. Now, when I chose a photo, I did pick a photo with a little bit of pink in it, so that if I decided to use some of the pink elements out of the collection that comes in this month's kit, that I could actually include that. But what I end up doing is focusing on quite a blue sort of colour palette. So you can see I've got the stripes. I'm going to use one of the frames, those chipboard frames. And I'm going to add just a little bit of colour into the background, again in blue, just so that I can actually keep this page coordinated. So all I'm doing here is just picking out papers and layers that I'm going to use to create the interest on this page. And as you can see, I've sort of used those little Project Life cards to create this area of interest. I've got the chipboard frame, a little bit of torn paper. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, you'll know that paper tearing is probably one of my go-to areas when I'm creating a page. I just love how torn paper looks. Now, frames was not something that I intended to use as an area of interest on this page, but I really like how it came together with the cluster of the photo and the little here and now tag with that frame in the background. You'll see as the layout progresses that I add some distress ink in the background using the stencil that comes with the Mixed Media kit this month. So that's sort of where I'm headed with this page. I didn't actually go into this intending to add anything into the background, but as I built the layers, that's where it started to make me want to add something to the background. So I haven't primed this in any way. The great thing about the distress ink is you can just pop them straight onto the page. And I think this stencil looks quite good both horizontally and vertically. I really like how that's come out. Now, because I'd already stuck my frame onto the page, I've had to peel that off, which is fine. I'll just glue it back over the top. I know where it's going to go. So the stenciling is just going to go under that frame. So that's, you can see how that's coming together. Now, mostly I have actually done a lot of the adhesive off camera so that you don't have to waste time watching it. But one of the things that I do want to show you is this little frame. So you can only do it with certain types of cutters where you actually line up the ruler with the base of your cutter and then the actual blade, so that you get this frame that you can put around the outside of a layout without actually having to measure it with a ruler or cut it with scissors or anything like that. So I'm just trimming that. The reason I did that was I toyed with the idea of adding stitching around the outside, but I couldn't, something wanted me to mount it onto that frame. I don't know if it was because I'd already used the blue stripes or what it was, so I ignored my instinct to actually stitch the layout, and instead I mounted it. Now, as you can see, I've added a little bit of cotton. I've used my hot glue gun to pop that frame back down. And I really wanted to use these gold thickers to title the page somehow. I didn't have anything in mind for a title, and it was sort of a little bit difficult for me to come up with something, but I quite like that final result, Mr. Silly. It's a perfect title for this particular picture. A couple of little embellishments, and this page is complete. So I really hope you enjoyed that masculine take on this month's kit. I've done a little bit different to what I normally would, so a couple of techniques that you can try, and if you'd like to scrap lift this page, I would love to see it. So I thank you very much for watching. Please, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, and of course check out Kitaholic Kits.